Hey, hey, hey. I'm here early today. Okay, let's get this going. Kitty. Hello, hello. Yeah, I'm here early today because I have something to do this afternoon. I have an interview to go to and possibly another one tomorrow. So things might be happening fast. Got to get the streams in when I can. I should be back. I should be around tomorrow at the usual time because Joe and I do our Nexus episode. So look for me then. If I have to delay it a little bit, I'll let everyone know. But today I have to head out later this afternoon, so I only have a couple of hours to spend here. So I'm just going to make it straight up open panel. In fact, let me turn my banner on. And check in on the news. And then have something else to show you or read to you. Blocks the release of the special counsel's final report on Trump documents. Damn it. Why? I want transparency of information. I want to know. I want to know what's in that stuff. Don't keep it from us. And he's trying to fight his sentencing too. Well, the Trump years are about to start up again. I almost forgot what they were like. I could feel the little ripples already hitting the shore. Let's see what else is going on. Looks like a lot of Trump and Elon gossip in the news, mostly. Okay. Well, that's just more of the same. So, the other day, I told you guys that this is my report card from junior high school, 7th grade, in fact. And on the front here, this little paragraph, I want to read it to you. It caught my attention, especially in light of today, I guess. It says, to parents, the total development of a child is the result of his environment. The home, church, school, and the child's associates make invaluable contributions to this total growth. It is the aim of the school to develop an alert, trained mind, a strong, healthy body, and a personality ready to assume the duties as well as to enjoy the privileges of our democracy. The duties as well as privileges of our democracy. And then it says, if the pupil's record is satisfactory, he deserves commendation. If not, we cordially invite you to visit the school as soon as possible to determine the cause and assist in improving the next report. Here's Hank.
Yeah,
What's up?
I remember the Trump years as if it was today. Pretty much the orange man put his hands on the Twitter, didn't do much stuff, get anything done. Then Lord Fauci locked everything down.
Your microphone's a little bit low today, still.
Yeah, the stupid firmware, I had to bit bang it. So
There you
if
go.
I lower the volume, it will auto adjust up the gain, which is ridiculous.
That's perfect, whatever you just did.
Yeah, I turned the volume down, but then the mic has some software in it that pushed the gain up to max, so I'm still trying to figure out how to make the mic work like a normal mic. This is ridiculous. LG's doing, Logitech made a stupid mic that stinks too smart.
Well, yeah, I can relate. You're coming in fine now. You were saying something about the
Yeah.
orange man.
Yeah, pretty much Trump will spend half the time insulting people on Twitter. Then he won't do anything he says. He'll break all his promises. And then last time Lord Fauci told him to lock down, maybe Rocket Man Musk would tell him something to do. So, I don't know.
Who believes Trump anyway? I don't believe any of his promises. I'm sure not going to be disappointed because I didn't take any of them seriously to begin with.
Yeah, I didn't vote for him this time, so I probably won't be disappointed this
And
time.
I didn't see him. I don't follow him on Twitter, but I didn't see him really active on Twitter since he won the election. At
He,
least none of my people have reposted
he's on
anything
Truth Social.
by. He what?
He's on Truth Social.
Oh, okay. Well, none of it's made its way into my information bubble, so I just assume that that's because it's not too controversial. Otherwise, people usually post it. And it didn't really. He really hasn't shown up in the news headlines either. When I check, so he's just to me he's just been kind of laying dormant, waiting for January, and then we'll see what he does. Like in
No,
what, another week? When
yeah,
does he take power?
the 20th.
Ah, about 2 weeks. Hey, Zach, who has potential, Fatty? Trump or Elon? What is Elon doing? I haven't the stuff I keep seeing is like gossip about Elon. Like he's influencing elections, he's trying to interfere in European policy, but they're not really saying what he's actually doing. Are they saying that they just don't like stuff they see on Twitter?
Well, that's your bubble. So what he has done is he flushed the Groypers. He deleted their Twitter accounts because they
Well,
were
why would that be something to be upset about?
because Elon Musk said he bought Twitter for free speech, but I haven't believed in free speech for a long time. So I'm not, it's all about control. So I'm not really
Well, I'd have to
disappointed
know why he deleted the Groypers. First of all, maybe
because
they
he
did
because
something.
he because he they ran against him on H1Bs.
Yeah, but I see a bunch of people on Twitter talking about H1B, like anti H1B in there. He hasn't done anything to them.
I don't know, but he did respond. He picked his
He
sad
took
great
their blue
example.
checks away.
Well, I think Laura Loomy took the blue checks away, but the corpus he flushed their accounts. So,
See,
as
all
far
that
as I know.
seems like gossip to me.
All right. So, what do you need? You need me to hack their database and show you the logs for you to believe it, or what do you need?
I don't need anything. I can do all this for myself.
Okay. So the
I'm
logs
just
really will
saying
work.
nothing Elon has done has risen to the level of any kind of major news to
All right.
me. It's internet people fighting among themselves.
Okay. So if I literally
I
went to their database and showed you the logs, it wouldn't make a difference to you. Okay.
No, what's the point you're trying to make? That he did something so egregious that he deserves to be in the headlines from now on?
I don't really make the
He's in a
headlines.
public I know about the H1B1 feud. And
I
again, that's political gossip. That's two sides arguing out their political positions. That's not news.
Yeah, I never claimed to control all media. I'm not the god of all media. That's ridiculous. I just said that Elon has in fact done stuff. So
By taking away these blue checks or suppressing some of these accounts.
yes,
But he hasn't suppressed all of them because I see plenty of them, even in my
well,
feed,
that
talking
wasn't my
against
claim.
H1B1.
Yeah, that wasn't my claim. So
Okay.
yeah, I didn't make the claim I did make.
Well, I'm not sure what the exact claim was. But my sense is that it's not that important relative to everything else going on in the world. But that when I pull up the news, he's the top two or three headlines, and people are trying to make it seem like something real. Elon's doing something really earth-shattering, and I'm not seeing what that is. It looks like the normal Twitter stuff he's been doing ever since he got Twitter. So
Yeah,
that's
you
the
don't seem to
news.
see
He
a
called
lot.
MAGA a bunch of retards. That's not news. That's gossip.
What's the difference between news and gossip? Give me the definitions for both, please.
News is an actual event, like the attack in New Orleans. I'd say was news. The Cybertruck blowing up in Vegas. I'd say was news. It's an actual event. Something happened. This is just conversation. This is just Elon saying stuff and other people saying stuff back to him. That's not news to me.
All
That's not
right,
anything that's happened.
all right. So pretty much, your news starts at someone's death or something like that.
I don't know how you got that. out of what I said.
Well,
I just
those two
said it.
events were people dying, so that's
Yeah,
why I thought
those
that.
two happen to involve death, but they don't happen to involve death. Elections can be news. I saw North Korea shot. They said they made progress on some missile that they
Well, hold it, hold it.
try to
I
shoot
think
off. So stuff like that's
I, I,
news.
I think you claim by North Korea's gossip by that definition.
Well, if in fact they did not shoot this missile, then that would be gossip.
All right.
But it would be gossip on the news part, on the people reporting it. Like there's an earthquake in China, I would call that news. UK leader Starmer slams lies and misinformation after attacks from Musk. I would call that gossip, not news. The Jean-Marie Le Pen died at 96. That's news. That's something that happened. A Spanish woman was killed by an elephant in Thailand. That's something that actually happened. I don't know if it needs front page coverage, but it's at least a news event. North Korea fired hypersonic missile in message to rivals. It seems like the news is reporting it as though it happened, as though they could verify that he fired it. So if he did, I would say that's news. But it also says their state media shows the latest missile test. So anything that comes strictly from them, I would need verification on. So
All right.
some
So
people are reporting it as though it happened, and some people are reporting it as though North Korea claims that it happened.
yeah. So pretty much, if it's verified by the state, it's news.
But
A
it
state.
seems like it would be easy to verify whether somebody shot a missile or not.
I don't know because we have drones going on. We can't verify who the source of them. So
Let's see, USA Today says that it happened. Test fired a ballistic missile into the sea on Monday. The missile appeared to be an intermediate range ballistic missile. It took off noon local time, flew nearly 700 miles. That seems very specific, but then where are they getting this information? Hey, Chris Lestrange. Happy New Year. Hope you're doing well too. Why do you say why do you say it's not Jim Bob?
because he's always there
Oh, okay. Is he there in support of Jim Bob or to challenge Jim Bob?
in support.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is definitely not Jim Bob's type of content.
Yeah, I even told him to have you on as a saying. He said he wasn't interested. So
Who, Jim Bob?
yeah,
Yeah, no, he didn't seem too interested. We got into it in the chat one day about materialism and naturalism versus, I guess his is Christian, Orthodox, religious, some kind of
yeah,
let's just say
yeah.
metaphysics.
Ortho metaphysics.
And
The only
he
thing
was a
is,
little off of on his understanding of materialism, and he kept confusing it with what I would call naturalism.
yeah,
And I was arguing with him in the chat, and he wanted me to go up, but I had something else to go to, and I couldn't do it that day. And he never did want to pick up the conversation after that.
yeah. The thing about ortho metaphysics is that you need the J Dye decoder ring to understand what the Bible says. Otherwise, you'll believe the Jewish lies or whatever.
Those are the online orthos, right? The ortho cult.
Yep.
Because the real orthos probably can do it without Jay Dyer.
Yes.
So what do you have happening today? Do you work?
I did work, but this is my weekend, so
Okay.
I'm gonna read more of Gifts Differing, and then I may start punishing people I determine to be a little too trolly for my taste, and just warn them that their mouths can sink their ships, their lip can sink their ships. So
You're gonna counter troll. The power's going to your head now. You're the troll slayer.
It says Zebra Exorcist, but yes.
Hey, blind. What's up?
Yeah, I've been on Blind Show for like 3 times.
Yeah, I blind does a good little stream. I like his. I like his work. In fact, let me drop his channel. I saw you on NPCs. Was it last night? They were
Yes.
reviewing the panel awards, and you
Yeah.
went up there to talk about trolls.
Yeah, Officer Snaps went on what was his name? Gabriel's Discord server that same day, but it was like the day after I called Officer Snaps out on my community tab, adding his channel specifically. He'll get notified. He didn't respond to the community post and instead wanted to go attack me from the Discord channel. He went into Gabriel's Discord channel and talked about me. Now we invite him to go to my community tab. So he doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to fight symmetrically. So because he's a coward, and I just it's time to take out the trash.
I can't imagine him even having a debate.
I can't imagine him even having a debate either.
What Discord was he in, saying
yeah,
all that?
yeah. So it's cleaned up. But it was hyperspace, which is Gabriel's aka NPC the game's Discord server.
So Gabriel is NPC. That's the
Yes.
same per. Okay. Well, the panelverse turns.
Yeah. So if he doesn't have enough bones in him to just go directly at me, then there's really no point in taking him all that much seriously. It's just time to clean him up so it can and wash his mouth out so he can maybe have a polite conversation later.
You think that? I don't know. From what I've seen of him, that's some dreaming.
He's
I
gonna take
think
a lot
you're
of
one of the
self.
few people I think that even take him as seriously as you do.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of soap, but once I get the methodology right, maybe I can actually make it in corporate America. But before that, I can't really imagine because too much is going against me. I'm labeled an autist. I'm black. I'm not tall. I don't see how I'm gonna make it. So
I don't. You think black still is a strike, like a black mark, so to speak, against
yeah,
people, and
yeah,
height too?
yeah.
I don't know. I'm tall. It's never really worked for me. If anything, it's intimidated people. It made me seem more threatening than I am. So the height thing is subjective. I think there's room to work around that. The black thing seems to be less and just like the gay, it seems less and less of a thing now.
Yeah, it's less and less a thing now, but it's just, I don't. It's not. I'm not. This really doesn't feel like there's a place for me anywhere. So pretty much, I'm going to just stomp on other people's stuff and just put a fence around. That's all. That's all I have left to do.
I think the autism is the biggest barrier currently, just in general, like not even you specifically. Here it is, Chris. There's the there's the panel award video. Yeah, see,
Autism.
Blizzy thinks it's a plus.
Yeah, autism's not really that big of a barrier for me because I'm not
That you're
afraid
aware
being
of, but
into it.
part of the autism is you might not be aware of the social impact that it has.
Yes, but no one's been able to demonstrate what I'm missing. They can't even write it down. They can put into enough words to write down even for themselves. They don't even know what I'm missing. So I don't believe them.
That's hard to do. You assume it's something you're missing on your part.
I don't make the assumption, but no one could prove the claim
I think it
otherwise.
makes it affects the way you come across to other people. You come
Yeah,
across a little strange or odd,
yeah,
and that could impact more than your skin color or your height.
but there's no
Because
way.
I think there's plenty of black people in the panelverse that are short, but they come across in a more neurotypical way, and I think they do
All right,
fine. They seem like they're doing.
name two.
Oh, I can name more than two. I'm thinking of people like Resto. There's the whole chaotic truth universe. and people in there. I would include Wrestler. I think he tries very hard to come off neurotypical, but I think he probably has a little bit of tism too. But I don't think it interferes with how he comes across. Look at the panel awards. Look at all the people that won panel awards.
I didn't
Th-
even look at them because I was working and I kind of didn't care.
And that's the same thing I say about Joe Cool, because he tries to play the race card too, and I think it's more about his individual personality and how he comes across than the color of his skin.
It didn't harm Joe Cool because I figured out by positive elimination that he actually beat me and Bex for that nomination, so it didn't
I
impact Joe
know
Cool.
the panel
Plus he's
hopping.
taller than me. Plus he's taller than me.
Yeah, I don't. It was a wash there. It was a toss up, really. That was a tough category. Cause I see you all over the panelverse. Like every time I pull up a panel, Hank is on it, and I don't know if I see Joe Cool quite as much, but I see him a lot too. And then I know Bex has a lot of channels she likes to visit. Who's Penelope? Yeah, there's plenty of black people winning life.
No, Penelope is Latina. At least
Oh, is she? But does she count BIPOC? Does it all count as one category?
she looked Latina to me and she sounded Latina to me when I talked to her on Blind Show. And now I don't know how she's winning life with her 2D boyfriend that she magically got the day after I talked to her. And she was kind of, let's say, I guess unbalanced. When she talked to me, she's the type of woman she would have banned from the show. So
Is that a Latino? She's Latino. I don't know. I'm naive enough to believe that if you focus on your strengths and let those speak for themselves, that you can rise based on that.
yeah, I lost that naivety
I
through
mean, I
experience.
don't. It's not working for me either, but I still believe in it. I put it this way: I believe with the right people that can work. Um, a lot of people can't look past the autism. I think more of them nowadays can probably look past the skin color. Not that it's anything to even look past. And height, I can't even speak for. I know people that are short have a complex about it, and people that are not short don't even notice. Yeah, but blind, that shows that they have it in the back of their mind. They made a little note of it because they do that with me too, with the autism and the gay. They throw that card out when they want to hurt you or get ugly, even people that you think are cool with it. And so it shows me that it's still registered on their brain, and they're stored it up in case they need it for later.
Yeah, to be honest, I think autism has the lowest effect out of all of them.
You think it what has the lowest?
Absolutely.
Uh, I think in your case it's more pronounced. But
Yeah,
I think Hank,
sure.
I think plenty of people like you. Like you're very well liked in the panelverse and across YouTube. So I don't think you're um, running into as much social. I don't know, disparagement as you might think you are. Are you talking
Well,
about in real life? It's hard for you to get where you want to go.
well, yeah. When it comes to real life, yeah, but this is just a simulation of real life anyway.
I don't
So,
know. I don't know if it is, cause
well, I do know. I trust me. I'm still working the corporate world.
I have a different. My interactions in real life don't often go like they do here on YouTube. I believe it or not, I find YouTube a less judgy place. I feel like they're much better at accommodating eccentricity, weirdness, differences than the normal everyday life, like the corporate world would be.
Yes, I actually agree with you there. That's why I say this is simulation.
But I don't think it's a simulate. I don't think it's a one-to-one simulation. This is not the Panelverse is not simulating corporate America.
Well, I still work in corporate America, and
It
you,
works like the Panelverse.
yes, at least where I am, it's pretty damn similar. And the
Wow.
logistics industry is pretty damn similar.
I,
Tech
um,
industry, it's unfortunately the Pelmverse is super soft compared to how nasty it get in the tech industry. They're horribly nasty. Figured I don't know if I'm ever gonna go back there.
what do you consider corporate America? Is it actual corporate or is it just any kind of workplace?
If it's a giant megacorp company, it's on trading on a stock exchange. It's corporate America.
Okay.
If you work for a place that's traded listed on a stock exchange,
Yeah, I'm not even looking. I don't think I was ever a part of corporate. I guess a little while. I've worked for a few hospitals that you could probably consider corporate, and I worked for Citibank for a little while. I did really well there, actually. They liked me. But I'm not even looking to get into corporate America. In fact, if a company's too big, that's usually a sign it's not going to be the right place for me. I'm looking for like smaller local places. If you don't count things like franchises, like the fry station at McDonald's is probably technically corporate, but it's a locally owned and operated franchise.
yeah, that's a gray area. I don't know. I need to look into that how to decide on that because
But I
this
know a
corp.
lot of the medical settings I worked in, if they weren't technically corporate, they sure operated. They had layers and layers and layers of upper management, and you could tell what was coming down the chain by how the managers were acting and then the managers above them, and it was a whole game you had to play when you were interacting at that level. Hey, Deerfire.
Yeah, Ninja Kitty Bonks is right. Yeah, if we go by disincorporated, well, technically that make me a executive officer because I incorporated a piece of paper at one time, but that really doesn't mean much of anything.
I think also like sense of size, subjective sense of size, has to do with how people use the word corporate too. And Hank mentioned being on the stock exchange or not. Like so, there's different indicators and markers you could use for where that line is. For me, just in my personal work experience, if it has layers of management, it's more or less approaching corporate. If there's just not a supervisor and maybe a general manager that I know by name and I could go to if I need them, it's reaching the corporate level for me. I don't want to have to navigate a whole labyrinth of management just to get something done. Hey, Ricardo. And if it has a big HR department, it's probably corporate. And if it hires candidates based on a computer system instead of direct person-to-person contact, it's probably corporate. Because now they're not even doing their own hiring. They're hiring these third-party software companies to filter out the resumes for them. And so they don't even the first time they even get in front of a job candidate is after it's been run through this third-party algorithm that they pay for.
Yeah, yeah, it's not. Well, it didn't start now. It started 2 decades ago.
Oh, the algorithm hiring? Because most
Yes,
all of my jobs I got through networking. So even if they were doing it back then, there was still a way around it. You could still bypass it by knowing the right people or talking to the right humans.
yeah. Technically, you could now if you knew the right people,
Because
and I
there's
never
still
met them.
recruiters, right? There's still people that get paid to go out and find talent outside of what these machines are feeding them.
Well, no, they run them through their own machines. Then they run them through the next set of machines.
Then what's the point of a recruiter or a
Stealing,
talent scout?
stealing someone big and important for another company. That's all they use for.
Oh, like poaching?
Yes, poaching.
but they don't actually poach from the street, like find people on the street that might fit in with their company anymore.
They wouldn't even know they're good or not because they're not
Well,
that
'cause they
rival.
used to know they were good because they spend time talking to them in person, and part of their skill set is evaluating people for their strengths and how they would fit into the company. So, are you saying that's not even a role anymore?
It's not really.
Wow, I don't know how they get people then, like, because the machine. There's so many people that could be an asset to a company that's being filtered out by these machines. And if they just don't, like, what the first company that decides, okay, I'll take the machine leftovers and go through those in person, they're going to have an advantage because they're going to be finding they have access to an entire talent pool that these other companies have turned their backs on.
Yeah, and they could charge they could pay them much less because they weren't in the premium pool. Say, "Hey, well, you're in the leftover pool, so you're not worth that much." And then they use that as a negotiating point against a potential employee.
Right, but the premium pool, that's the premium pool by how they look at the beginning of the hiring process. But the true premium pool, and any good CEO or business owner would know this, is the actual job performance. And you can't tell what that pool is till you hire the people and they're actually on the job working. And so all of these people being filtered out by the machine, if you put them in the right companies, that company's going to have a performance edge, and they're actually going to have the true premium pool that's filtered out through job performance and not machine algorithm.
Yeah, but
And
hiring
I don't
people is
know,
very
like,
expensive.
are there any intelligent business people that know this or are thinking this way, or have they just all handed everything over to the machine?
Well, the machine lies, but
I
yeah, they
don't
hand
even
it
think
over.
it. I think the machine is just not as good as a human. It's not so much that it lies; it's just not that bright. It's just not that good at what it's supposed to be doing. It can't identify. It can identify the talent that's programmed into it to recognize, but it can't identify like hidden talent that a human might be able to pick out.
Heavy
So
emphasis on
Helena, you're
might.
saying they're still recruiters, but it's not a real job. It's just for show and like they're hiring them and it's a job title, and companies still have them on their payroll and they have the job title, but that they don't really recruit.
Yeah, you
What
gotta
does a
pay.
company get out of that? To me, why would a company not want to be out there competing for the best employees?
But the incentive structure inside's not pushing them towards doing that.
But the performance of your business is the incentive. Like, you want the best employees because then your business is going to operate the best. You'll have the most talented, skilled people. Why would anybody not want to capture as many skilled, competent, talented employees as they could?
Well, maybe that will disturb the click and make will result of water cooler talk and stuff. It will affect culture in the way they perceive as negative.
I don't know. I would love if there's any CEOs out there or business owners that want to come up and explain this to me. I would love to talk to any of you and figure out how y'all think, because you're letting a lot of talent go, and I don't know if it's on purpose or just through ignorance. But your business, you're putting your business could have a competitive edge if you learn how to spot the right people and get them into your workforce. And there used to be humans that were good at doing that, and I don't know where, like, why they're not still using those people.
They were too expensive, apparently.
Well, I guess they pay a price, and they're like, they might be saving money, but they're going to pay a price in the quality of their business, their performance.
Yeah, DEI only worked in my favor one a single time. It got me in the door at this current job, but I'm basically running on pure merit right now with my 6 shifts a week work week, doing prime, doing wrap up. So I'm getting by merit right now. That program shut down. But other than that, DI never did me any favors. because people just assumed I didn't know what I did know because DEI.
So you were a DEI hire?
Yeah, this one time I got hired it was they had like a DEI style program that got me in the door at least. But I'm running on pure merit now. That program's been shut down for at least 4 years, um, and I'm working more than other people.
So
It was
how do you know you were a DEI hire, or how do you become one? You
it
like
was a bit for the United Way program. It was a hired through United Way.
oh wow, I didn't even think of that. Maybe I should look into
Yeah.
becoming a DEI hire.
Hmm.
But Helena, I'm still like short term they get a tax incentive, but long term isn't their business better if they actually find the talent versus just pretending to find it but not actually hiring talented people? Or is that part of the like short term thinking in business over the long term that so many businesses get caught up in? I don't know why any company would not want meritocracy. Like, I don't know why any company would deliberately not want the best employees it could find. Like, I have this business, I'm providing this product or service, and I want employees that are just okay, or that are just so so, or that are moderately competent. But I don't want to go out of my way to find the best. I'll let my competitors have those people. I don't understand that thinking at all.
Maybe the best people isn't this. Getting the best people may not be the same thing as getting the most profit for some reason.
You know what? Maybe not. Maybe that's what I'm not seeing. Because it seems to me like they would correlate, but maybe there's some weird reason why that's not always the case. Should Helena be part of the open panel?
Yes.
She certainly can if she wants. Any of you are welcome. Kitty, do you ever come up? You should come up one day. But Dolbez, doesn't the service suffer in the long run? Whatever the business is providing, doesn't that suffer in the long run? Why would a company deliberately sabotage or handicap itself that way?
Maybe
Like, what
like
does it get out of having a DEI company that's not offset by the loss of quality that the business is going to suffer down the road?
well maybe the banks are promoting it and they will lose as much banking services if they don't explicitly be DEI.
But at the end of the day, if you want to be successful as a business, like over time, Joe talks about stocks being a long-term game. You have to deliver quality. There's no way around that.
They can deliver quantity. If you're that big, they can deliver quantity instead of quality.
So yeah, I wonder, Ricardo, if it's. I know that's happened to me on in some workplaces where when they get what they actually want, they are intimidated by it and they decide it's more of a liability than an asset. Because managers don't. I'll tell you this: what I've learned about managers, they don't like trying to manage people that are better at the job than they are. That really sets off a complex in them. Then eventually, if this is true blind, then the market's going to react and they're going to lose customers. They're going to lose me at least. If a business lowers the quality of what I'm paying for, I'm going to go find it somewhere else. Yeah, yeah, tall poppy. That's why I try to find places where people want the tall poppies because they understand what they can bring to a business. If I had a business, I would hire as many tall poppies as I possibly could, and we would have that place jamming. Is that how they do it in Canada? No, the world we live in is the world people decide to live in. And bright, creative people can come up with worlds better than that to live in. Let's see what Helena has to say.
Hey, you guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you know anything about business and why they make these boneheaded choices?
I don't know. They seemed determined to. Everything you were saying, like, why are you passing up on the best people? They don't seem to care. And who sometimes people who hire, when there's a department dedicated to hiring, they you can't trust them. They immediately get overwhelmed. They get hundreds of resumes, and they pick people for stupid reasons. Like I don't know what to say. They just don't. Yeah, it's not in their best interest, but they do it. Yeah. Now, the last time I got a job, it was because I knew somebody.
Yeah,
Um,
that's how I've
and
got
that
most of my
worked.
jobs too.
Yeah. Not really great at networking, however. So, you know, but yeah, then I was at I was at that school, that college, and then the administrator just started hiring her whole family. So things
Yeah,
got weird.
that I know nepotism is not even legal in a lot of places.
Yeah, they say that, but you know, I
Who's
don't
gonna
know.
stop them?
The law?
Yeah,
No. Law doesn't stop people unless people want looking at it and trying to follow it.
Well, yeah, but
well,
there's agencies you can report them to that will come in and
they
impose
were
consequences.
investigated twice. They were investigated twice. Yeah, they were, but they still got away with it.
Was this like a state university or a large university?
This was a state college. It was a community college. Yeah,
Yeah, that does. It seems, especially at the state level, it seems like there would be laws against that.
yeah. Well, there should be, but yeah. And recruiters, they just sometimes they want to collect resumes. They have no intention of hiring. They collect the resumes just in case, and so it's like data mining in a way. They do that too.
Wow.
I think I could be.
Yeah.
I think I would be okay if legal nepotism. That way they can advertise that they're nepotists, so I can avoid them. So I'm actually okay with that. Decriminalize nepotism, but make it clear so I can avoid using your service, avoid working for you.
Yeah. How would you advertise that though? Like, how would that look? What would that look like?
They'll just put their family name in front, like Trump does.
Oh, well, I don't know. It was a state college. It wasn't their business. If you have a family business, you can hire whoever you want. It could be family, whatever, but this was like a state college, so they got federal funding. It wasn't their it wasn't their college, you know?
They'll probably
So,
put their name on it at that point.
I don't care
they
who a
should have.
company hires as long as they can deliver a quality product.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's how it should be. But and nowadays so many resumes go in that it's like if they even notice you, it's like you won the lottery or something, you
Exactly.
know. Yeah.
Sometimes 500,000 resumes go in.
So it's how to get. That's why people spend so much money. I mean, time tweaking their resume, like running it through
Yeah.
these AI machines and everything to get it perfect to try to get noticed. It's like the
Yes.
doggy in the window.
Hmm.
So it's like how to get noticed by. I want to get noticed by humans. I don't care if the machine
Right.
notices me.
Yeah. and sometimes you upload your resume, and then they want you to fill out all these boxes anyway. And it's like, I just uploaded my resume. That's my resume. But you have to do it like you have to. That's for their bots. That's for their AI. You know. So it's and the right boxes are checked. I don't know. They might be inclined to look at you more. That's the only thing I can. That's my conclusion, I guess. Yeah.
I don't waste a lot of time on those.
Yeah.
I'm starting to
Well, I
get
don't blame
if the
you.
resume hoops are too much or too high, I don't even apply at that company. I'm using that as my own filter. I'm filtering out companies.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, one time, it was a long time ago. I wanted to have a second job, and it was like for a hostess at a restaurant, and the resume was like altogether 10 pages long. 10 pages long. So it
Wow.
was like 5 pages, but back to back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's too long.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But they still, till this day, they have a sign outside of their business that says hiring. It's like, who are you hiring? That sign has been out there for like a year and a half. What are you looking for? What are you looking for? You know,
It's past weather damage by now. It's
well, I guess. I don't know what you guys think of that, but
I see that. Well, wait a second. We live in the same town, Pittsburgh, so it could be the same place we're thinking of. I don't know.
oh, I don't know. Wow. You're in Pittsburgh?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Oh, we
I'm
can have
near
our
Pittsburgh.
first chapter of Outliers. The
Yeah, I
Pittsburgh
mean, I'm
chapter.
not right in Pittsburgh, but I'm around Pittsburgh. Yeah, so
Neither am I. I'm on the south.
oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, that's funny. I didn't know. I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, go Steelers, right?
Nope, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for
No, I don't
football.
watch I don't watch football either. I don't watch football either. I was just being silly. Yeah. Yeah.
No patriotism.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. I went to a Penguins hockey game once. That was kind of fun. But that was also a very long time ago. And they had to drag me to it. But yeah, um yeah, so
Yeah, we're
I don't
not
know.
patriots. We're pinheads, as Bill O'Reilly would used to say.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I've had recruiters bring me into the office, and I leave, and then I realize they just wasted my time. They're trying to look like they already know who they want to hire, my guess is, but they wasted your time, you know?
They're paid to do so.
What happens in the like when you go in with them? Is it just a basic interview? Tell us
Yeah,
about your background, all that.
yeah. Hmm.
Yep.
Yes. And I leave, and then they ghost you, and you're like, okay. And that, I don't know. I mean, that's
Yes.
what they do that sometimes.
And I got so tired of my time being wasted either on the phone or doing those interviews, I deleted my LinkedIn. I was that angry.
Well, yeah, I can't believe people still. I don't know. I don't understand how corporate works, but I can't believe people still use that. But why don't you?
I didn't use it for a while. It was like 10 years out of date. And when I started working with these job people, they had me revive it because they say everybody uses it now. And so now I've just had to get back on
Do
it, and I'm
they?
trying to figure out what to even do
Of
with it.
course not. Of course not. Everyone
I got
doesn't use
one
it.
profile view in the past 90 days, it said.
Oh wow. Okay, Hank, what do you
Maybe
think
it's
of
a
LinkedIn?
recruiter.
And right now, it's a hard pass. I would rather just apply directly to the corporate website because a higher chance of a personally actually looking at it because not
Hmm.
going through 5 or 6 extra layers of BS.
Yeah, you mean directly with the
Right.
company? Yeah,
Yes, the
that's what
company
I.
website.
Yep, that's what I started doing too. In fact, the job people even told me that too. That they recommended that as well. If you can
Yeah,
Hmm.
apply directly with a company instead of through Indeed or Monster or one of those sites,
or
that's you have a
LinkedIn.
better chance. Yeah, or LinkedIn.
And LinkedIn's a horrible, is a very dangerous to your privacy. If you value your privacy, then you must not value LinkedIn because of how dangerous it is to your privacy
Well,
because it's how much they expect
my
out
privacy
of
is
you.
pretty much blown for being on here. But even if you find a job on LinkedIn or Indeed, still go on the company website and find it on
Oh
there and
yeah,
apply to it
definitely.
on there.
Yeah, you know what? Also, they steal your data. Those
Yes.
sites like Indeed, and um, sometimes like if I use them, I would get these weird phone calls, from
Ooh,
like I don't know who these people were,
yeah,
and
exactly.
yeah, yeah. So it's like I hate them. I hate them now.
Yeah, that's why I
Yeah,
took all that stuff down.
yeah,
And have
yeah,
no intention of putting that stuff back up. No intention whatsoever.
yeah. Same here. Yeah.
It's very frustrating. I wonder how much Hank, you said this has been going on for a while. I wondered how much of it was a result of the lockdown and how things changed during lockdown, but
It's
you
pre
said it's
lockdown.
it's been going on, it's not lockdown related, that they'd be
And
doing this anyway.
they were doing it way, way before lockdown. So I got my degree in 2010, but I knew they were doing it for at least 5 years before that, at the very minimum. So that'd be like 20 years.
Mm,
And it's like the alias AI that they use to filter through the resumes. We had the
yeah.
Teleo sites. So it's been going on for a really long time.
So if you found a job within your company and applied internally, would you have a better chance because
Uh,
you've worked there and they know you, or would you still be
yes, very
a
much a better
cog in the
chance.
machine?
Very much a better chance. I got some interviews for positions I didn't even want, but I just sat through because they wanted me to do so. But yeah, I have a much higher chance if they do know me. But my company's so big that I can apply to somewhere and they won't know me. So, but I probably get higher priority than someone outside the company.
Ah. Well, one time I applied for a position, like a position inside of my department. The guy got fired, and I applied. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything, and I looked back at the website, and they disappeared his position. So my guess is that they realized they would save money not replacing him, and they could all get their Christmas bonuses. You know, so I don't know. Yeah, it was gone.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
revenue. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
In fact, revenue's better than profits most of the time because revenue you could just put in your pocket.
Yeah,
Profits you have to
exactly.
share. Yeah, profits you have to share with the shareholders. But if you got just revenue, you're paying in circumstances. It's just green. That's how UPMC does it. It's a non-profit, so the revenue just goes straight in your pocket after expenses, of course.
Right. Well, and I don't know, all this weird stuff didn't start happening until the administrator started hiring her family, and then all of a sudden, I'm hearing them and they're talking about Christmas bonuses, and I'm like, you get Christmas bonuses? What? And then yeah, I don't know, and then every during the holidays they would cut my hours. They would cut my hours. They'd cut my hours, and it's like, okay, what the hell, what am I supposed to think?
I don't know how that's not corrupt if they're
Well,
hiring
it's
all family
corrupt.
members and then handing out bonuses to them.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jeff. I agree with you.
Yeah, not lost. Why aren't the best running things? If they're the best, why can't they try to? Why can't they figure out a way to run things? And
I don't know.
instead of letting all these midwits run everything, that's what I'm trying to do.
I don't know. I don't know. And then sometimes I think people don't want to hire people that they're afraid can replace them. Um,
Yeah, that's what somebody was saying earlier. That it's
yeah,
almost a threat more than an
yeah,
asset.
right.
Yeah, I honestly don't care about being replaced. It's just as long as I can pay my bills.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh, it's McNemesis. Hi, McNemesis. Have you learned your lesson from Jack Talcott show yet? Or you had to be on the short list of people who had to wash their mouths off?
Is he your next troll target after Snafu? Does he
Yes.
have some soap coming for that mouth?
Yeah, he is. And Pussy Paul's after that one.
Paul?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's quite a target. I wouldn't consider Paul a troll.
Well, if you consider what he's been doing with Jack Talcott, I definitely would consider him a troll.
Oh yeah, that's
Because he,
between him and Jack. Like you stepping into years and years of dysfunctional relationship dynamics there.
well, it's not just Jack. Paul has a very long list of people he gave him the same treatment. Except I'm a little too spicy for him, so he doesn't focus on me.
God, too spicy for Paul.
Yes, so he doesn't want to focus on me because he wants to go at it. I got that kickback,
Mm.
but it's not just Jack Talcott. It's Wizard. It's Moose. It's
Hey, what about Moose?
he's given the same treatment as.
Oh, you mean he's done it to them, not that they're
Yes, he's
okay.
done it to them. There's a long list of people he used and threw away.
What what exactly is the situation
Um,
with them?
so pretty much Pussy Paul kind of has he abuses like panelists for comedy, and he kind of has them as a co-host, but then he tries to pretend to be a pimp and stuff. So he just doesn't have balanced relationships. He just doesn't want any.
But I don't think he's any different than most of the panelverse.
All right, but that's your ill-informed opinion.
They're all doing that.
Yeah, it's your ill-informed opinion. I
Well,
mean,
it's an
I sound
opinion, and it's informed by my experience of watching Paul and seeing him other panels, and he's been on this panel before. I've had conversations with him, so it's informed by all of that, which is the same thing that yours is informed by.
yeah, but I think yeah, but at the first time you had him on your panel, I was breaking one of his schemes to take control of the panel verse we had by having that little reciprocity contract. So I actually was breaking a scheme the first time. The second time, when we were on the same time together, I was on my best behavior because he was on his best behavior. But you didn't know about
It's
any of
just
that.
YouTube. My God.
Hmm. Okay. Did you guys ever like? Do you guys get into fights with people while you're streaming?
I have.
Um, I mean, there's been debates that have gotten heated and communication breakdowns, but a lot of the fights happen between streams. They have behind the scenes. So like somebody will see something on the stream and they'll go off and make some hate video about that person, or they'll go into
Oh,
Discord and they'll try to get a whole Discord full of people against that person. They'll go raid their chat, stuff like that. So a lot of it doesn't
wow.
happen so much on the stream itself. Now there are channels, there are drama channels and
Yeah.
streams where people do come up and fight with each other, but I deliberately wanted my channel to not be one of those. So I got rid of all those drama trolls very early. We do have drama court for $100. You can pay to do drama court, and you can fight it out, and we'll mediate and moderate it for you. But so far, nobody's
What is
taken
that?
up on that.
Is McNemesis
That's a
still in
real
the
thing.
back? Because we
No,
may just do that right
he
now.
just popped in to type that one little thing.
Okay, because if he's in the back, I would have paid $100 just to wash his mouth off real quick now. So,
Ooh, I don't even know if I would have him on. But
then this drama court's completely worthless then.
I reserve
I
the
thought-
right to refuse service to whoever I want.
All right, that's fine. And I
thought-
reserve the right to give a review.
And drama court really works when the two people actually, like, there's some kind of hope of resolution, and I don't see that with Nemesis at all. So it's just a waste of drama court.
I think drama court would be a waste for each and every person. That's just my opinion.
We don't know. It's never been tried, so who knows?
I'll bet $100 that's worthless. How about that?
Okay, well, when somebody pays for drama court, you could put up your little $100 bet and see what happens.
All right, I'll put the $100 bet, and I could put in $100 against McNemesis. I know I can't lose.
Huh. Yep. Never been to drama.
There's
Never did
entire
Discord either.
sectors of YouTube that are drama communities that it's like Jerry Springer panels. That's what they show up for. And for a little while some of them were coming to this channel, and my numbers shot up when they were here. It drives growth. It's the kind of content that pulls in numbers and viewers and subscribers, so it's kind of like making a pact with the dark side to get your channel growing. And I did it for a little while. I flirted with the drama, and then I realized it's totally contrary to the mission I'm trying to do here, and I got rid of all that.
Right.
Because
And then
there's plenty of
some-
other channels where people can go to that far. So the ones that come here, well, this is the drama. What do we call it? The sanctuary or the drama oasis? The drama people would come here when they needed a break from the drama.
Well, I think some people, they use it for catharsis. In live chat, sometimes people, they want to go, oh, I need to relieve. Yeah, I know how this is going to sound. I need to relieve myself. I'm going to go there and fight.
I could
And they
not
just
have put it
start
better.
fights. Yeah, I know. But
Yeah.
catharsis. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. And then a lot of them hate bond. They'll pick. There's certain people that they pick as their targets, and then
Yeah,
you'll have a
that's weird.
whole little group of people that will all show up on the channel and hate watch the same person, and they bond. It's like gang stalking, and they bond with each other through that. So it's a kind of dysfunctional form of tribal bonding.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
We have drama light here, but it's not nearly the drama that the drama channels have.
Yeah.
These are people that like send cops to each other's house and get people fired from their jobs, and
God.
like they want it. Like some of them are in jail for like shit they did offline based on what happened on a YouTube stream. It's the really intense, hardcore.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, those people are just really stupid. I think.
Yeah.
I think I've been
YouTube
on those a
brings-
couple of times, but they just don't do that kind of stuff to me because it's a waste of effort on their part because it's not going to work.
I have hate videos of me out there. There's little hate campaigns that rise up against me every now and then. There's a few channels that have me as a target.
Oh. Does it make you feel paranoid or?
No, I've been going through that since the AOL days.
Oh. Wow. Okay.
I've been cyber terrorized for decades.
Ah. Hmm.
And they're stupid. Like, if there was any intelligence behind it, I'd be way more worried. They just make shit up and throw things at the wall and see what has an effect.
Right.
Hey, Pero. Right, cult. I want to believe you, but when I got rid of the drama, my numbers stalled. They plateaued. And so
Oh,
it's not like there was this whole other audience that was staying away, ready to grow the channel if the drama wasn't here. It was just nothing. And
yeah.
hey,
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure how to feel about that.
but I'm okay with that because I want the people that are here for what I'm here for. Like I'm trying to form a specific type of community, so I want the people that are here for the same reason. And the drama stuff doesn't help me achieve that goal.
Wow. Maybe they should take up a sport or
I think this is they call it blood sports. And then they have the debate sector, which is kind of a whole other sector of YouTube, but that gets pretty volatile too in the debates. So
did you ever
you can have drama spin off of that just from people having intense, passionate debates with each other.
have you witnessed a lot of resolutions?
No, hardly any, and the few that I've had, I've witnessed on this channel.
Yeah,
I I, I had a couple resolutions. It was kind of destructive finishes. Bunny Christ pretty much dropped off the web once I exposed him really badly of how incompetent he was, and Jared Bus kind of dropped off like a month after my debate with him on the Machine Lies, a month or two. So,
mm,
those are resolutions, technically.
hmm. So if you witness a resolution, the other somebody they usually drop off. They just it's like
That's that's a form of it. I guess there's
okay,
other resolutions where we come to it. I guess we kind of
Sometimes they
moderate
actually,
our positions. That's another form of resolution. But those aren't. Some people won't. There was a subdial.
yeah, sometimes they just resolve their differences and then they coexist peacefully on panels together.
hmm, okay.
They mature out of it.
They mature out of it. Okay.
Well, no,
See,
like
I
for
don't know.
example, I'm trying to reach 1,000 because then I can become part of their ad program. So that specifically
Yeah,
depends on me getting 200 something more viewers, and then after that, the sub numbers are not going to matter so much. But so subs do matter for specific YouTube goals more than the views themselves. The things that determine monetization are subscriber numbers and watch hours. And I get my
right.
watch hours just fine, but I'm just low in subscriber numbers. But I don't want false subscribers either. I want it to be actual subs that want to be part of this channel, and I want the growth to be organic. So I'm willing to just wait for that to happen.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Passive income, right?
Yeah, exactly. Passive income.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying after I get past 1,000, then the views are going to determine the ad revenue from there? Maybe so. Maybe at that point, and it'll be. And I'm actually happy with the views. I'm happy with the audience I get. I think it's a good number of people that show up. It it doesn't overwhelm everyone's ability to interact and participate.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. I don't have a channel, so you know. But I'm curious about how it works.
Do you are there channels that you frequent or
Oh yeah.
go on panel? How was the mystery science
Well,
thing, by the way?
that's for fun. That's just for fun. There's no panels or anything. But it's a const. Most of the channels have a live stream, so that's my therapy. Yeah, to make fun of bad and weird films. Um, and a lot of it has a lot of traffic, lots of traffic.
On it. What
Yeah.
movie did they end up watching?
What movie?
Yeah, you were. You,
They they play a few movies. They play a lot of movies. They're different channels. Let's see. Let me name some off. Let's see. Devil Doll, Terror at Party Beach, Hobgoblins, stupid things like that.
Devil Doll sounds cool.
Devil Doll is a good movie. It's actually a good movie.
From
It
1964.
it's black and white, and the premise is stupid, but then again, it's sort of like it's like it predates those Chucky doll movies. It's like way better than that, and it's amazing how ideas were already, somebody always had an idea before you, and that's what I've learned watching old films. So, um, no, they play a bunch of movies. They play those old Hercules movies. They play a lot of movies. Yeah.
Oh wow, it's free on YouTube. I might watch it. It reminds me of the Trilogy of Terror doll story.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that keeps popping up. That always pops up in film, like this doll is possessed, blah blah blah, and then then the terror happens, and um, yeah, yeah, it's not an uncommon theme. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Um, and they have other ones I haven't tried yet, like Creature Feature, but I don't know. Even their movies that they're allowed to play, they're even more obscure. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try that some other time. But yeah, it's humor therapy. That's all. Yeah. And you've seen me at Ben's. Benjamin Boyce.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I used to hang
So
out there.
yeah.
That was my little community for a while.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, I still go there. He got married last year, and so his wife, Leslie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we had her on as a guest one day.
you did?
Hmm.
Oh, I missed it. Oh, I missed it. Um, yeah, what did you guys talk about?
Probably mental health because I know Leslie from I've Leslie and I are part of the same circles, so I
Oh,
knew her separately from Benjamin.
mm-hmm.
And
Okay. Um,
here's our episode. She like counterweight, CTA, critical therapy antidote, all that stuff. Mental health, the mental health pushback against wokeness.
mm. What do you think of the word neurodivergent?
I love it. I like it better
You love
than
it?
yes. I like it a lot. I use it all the time. I use it instead of autism or ADHD or any kind of specific because it's a more broad term. Because neurodivergence is so individualized and it's often a combination of those categories. And so just saying neurodivergent marks it off from neurotypicality. And then you can focus on the individual traits and variations from there. And you don't have to get caught up on what's autism, what's ADHD.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it, but I don't know. Some of the characteristics, it just seems like, oh yeah, that's what we used to call introverted. We used to call that introverted. And one time somebody called themselves neurodivergent. I don't know where I was, what I was reading. And somebody said, well, why are you neurodivergent? And they're like, well, when I'm in a cab, I don't like to make small talk with the cab driver. And it's like, well, is that weird? I'm sure a lot of people don't like that. That's my problem with it, but you know.
I guess if they don't like to make small talk because they're introverted, that's one thing. Because a lot of introverts are neurotypical, they just have an introverted personality. But if they don't
Hmm.
like to make small talk because they have like this social sensitivity or resistance because of some kind of autism, then that would be a neurodivergent reason. But ultimately, it doesn't matter. They don't like to make
Yeah,
small talk, and that's
yeah,
really the important thing. And even
Yeah,
a lot of people that, because it's an invisible disability, so even a lot of people that appear neurotypical, you don't know how their brain is processing things internally. They could be processing in a very neurodivergent way.
yeah, yeah. So you probably took the Myers-Briggs test,
I'm an ENTP. Actually, I'm pretty balanced. I'm an X in XP because my
really?
E and N and I mean my E and I and T and F are almost perfectly balanced. I'm an
And
Okay.
ambivert.
and I am
I'm
an
an
ENTJ. And you use the test as INTJ, so NTJs for sure. I have three
So
letters.
X in TJ.
Yeah, I know those other three letters for sure. Those are pretty heavy, but last time took the test from Truity was an E.
yeah. Usually, I always test INFP. Always, always. And this can bring us back to the work thing, the employment thing. They sneak a personality test sometimes into the application process, and I know what it is because I've taken the Myers-Briggs so many times. I'm like, this is exact. I know what this is, but
Yes,
yeah, yeah. So I'm always INFP, but I know what they want. They want,
ENFJ. That's what they're looking for. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I can hack that, and I don't have problems. I do not have problems being social. It's not an issue. It's just that, if I socialize for so many hours, I it's nice for me to be alone for a while.
That's
That's
the
all.
mark of an introvert to me is they have
Yeah,
that
that's
battery
all.
that they
Yeah,
have
that's
to,
all.
and then they have to get the battery recharged.
Yeah, it's no big deal. I don't think it is. But yeah, you're right. But yeah, I know when they're giving me a personality test, I know how to hack it. But then again, I've taken the Myers-Briggs organically, and yeah, I'm always INFP. So
Yeah, I can see that, and it indicates is tendencies. So it doesn't
yeah,
mean
I know.
you're not also the other letters. That's just where your natural tendency lies.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But I know I really understand that test because they're like, how they go like they score like each question. It's like 1 to 5. Isn't it 1 to 5 or something? It's like, how much do you like to spend time alone? And then they'll have 1 to 5, and then you circle one, you fill in one number based
yeah,
on
how strong?
tendency.
Agree or
Yeah,
disagree?
yeah, right, right. Yeah, so yeah, it's like, okay, you want to throw that test at me? Go ahead. But yeah. And if you met me in real life, you would never go, "Oh, that girl's an introvert. That chick's an introvert." Yeah, you wouldn't know, but I am. But it never occurred to me to call myself neurodivergent.
So yeah, here I'm rereading Gifts
You may not
Differing,
be.
and here's the thing, it introversion and extroversion is actually more difficult because we can't see introverted functions, at least according to the book. So it may not be the last thing we'll be able to figure out anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, I've taken the Myers-Briggs. Oh gosh, how many times? Maybe 6 times or something. Yeah, I'm pretty steady. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not talking about the job applications. I mean, just the Myers-Briggs, you know. But yeah, I never changed.
Yeah, we our personality balances itself out, or it can, with experience and through life. But we still have our innate tendencies. however they got there. And the E and the I and the Myers Briggs, it's actually a little more complex system than just four letters. But I forgot how it works, but it's the orientation of your dominant function, I believe, and it changes
Yeah,
depending on if it's intuition or thinking versus feeling or sensation,
yeah,
etc.
yeah. I didn't bother explaining it. I just figured, well, you could look it up if you want to.
And then
It's
the J and the P were added on later, and they mean
yeah,
something
yeah,
else too. It's an indication
yeah.
of what one of the other functions is doing. So the core functions are the T, F, N, S, and then the I and the E and the J and the P are kind of showing what those functions are doing, or what how they're oriented, what direction they're oriented in.
Right. Yeah, yeah. It's not a perfect science, that's for sure. But and some people they're really bad at taking that test. There are actually people who are bad at taking that test. Um, because they overthink like it's like, well, sometimes I like being alone, but most of the times I don't. And so they get caught up in that and it's I don't know. So it's strange. It's not a yeah, it's not perfect. That's for sure.
Do you the Enneagram? Do you know your Enneagram?
No, I do not. What's yours?
I'm an 8, 7 wing.
I'll have to try that. Yeah.
So, last time I did my Enneagram, I got the same result as Jeff, but I also know my tri type 854.
That's also the
Huh.
same type as Donald Trump, supposedly. He's an
Really?
eight
Are you
seven wing.
kidding? Are
Yeah,
you
it's the 8 is the challenger. We
Ooh. Ooh.
here I'll put the here's a really good Enneagram website.
Yeah, I'll have to try that.
And the Enneagram, I like it because it's very subtle. It looks basic on the surface, but the way that they interconnect and then there's different levels to it. Like it'll show your type and how it interacts under stress. And as the
Uh-huh.
stress increases, you can start reverting to other types. And
Oh.
as you become successful and come more into your own being, it has different layers and descriptions for that too. So it kind of gives you a little chart of progress or regress to map your Enneagram against.
Oh, okay. I yeah,
You
I have to
you do
try it.
cult, and I appreciate being challenged, even though it might not always seem like it, and I get defensive after the stream is over, and I like play it over in my head the next few days. I am thinking about the feedback and like giving it consideration and seeing it helps me see the areas where A, where I have blind spots, but B, areas where I'm defensive for reasons,
Hmm.
like the reasons for the defensiveness.
Okay.
So keep challenging.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. I don't know. I was good with students. I was a good lecturer. Um, I didn't have to get along with all of them either. Uh, no, I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to take that test. I'll try it. Yeah. Yeah. So, what do you find funny, Jeff or Hank? What's your
Oh,
sense of
like
humor?
comedy wise.
Yeah.
Um, that's a good question. I like really stupid, just silly and stupid. Like I love Eddie Murphy and that kind of comedy. My
Uh-huh.
favorite comedian right now is probably Tom Segura, but then I like very subtle, offbeat, almost highbrow comedy that you really
Like what?
ironic comedy that you it's hard to tell that it's even comedy. Like one of my favorite new series is The Curse on Netflix,
The
which there's nothing
curse.
overtly comical about it. It's not like laugh out loud funny, but I laugh out loud the whole time I'm watching it because the
What's
comedy
the
is so subtle.
what is the curse about? I don't think I know that one.
It's Emma Stone and Nathan Fiedler, I think his name is, and they're like these
Oh
yuppies
wait, Nathan
in New
Fillion?
Mexico. They're like trying to gentrify this neighborhood in New Mexico, and it's how like it's these liberal yuppies that interacting with the locals, and it's a
Hmm.
It's kind of a satire on those type of people.
I don't know that one. Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and my comedy is Schadenfreude.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Like I
Do you
will
have a favorite?
laugh if somebody slips on a banana peel or walks into a pole. That stuff makes me laugh. I will laugh, but I will
Yeah.
laugh also at the more intellectual, less
Yeah.
obvious comedy too. Although I don't, people have tried to explain absurdist humor to me, and I don't get it. So I don't think absurdist comedy is my cup of
Hmm.
tea.
Okay. All right. Yeah. But, I hate streaming TV. I hate I hate it.
Oh,
And it's like they'll one channel will have like I don't know, like I'll just put a number out there. 60 different shows and maybe two are okay. And that's what I hate about it. But
Netflix, probably.
yeah, they're
Or Amazon Prime. Or Disney Plus. It pretty much
Amazon
describes all of
Prime.
them.
Well, at least sometimes they put okay movies on. But you remember when there was Prestige TV, which
mm-mm.
was not that long ago, you
What is
know?
that?
Oh, Mad Men, Breaking Bad,
Oh,
uh, like really well written shows,
oh yeah. You're saying they just don't make shows like that anymore?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
so. And
I don't know
if
if
they
they
do,
do
it's
either.
rare. Yeah.
I've never watched Mad Men, but I started watching Breaking Bad the other day for the first time, and it's very,
Yeah.
very well acted.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah.
I don't even know what it's about, really. I just know that just the writing, the acting alone is sucking me in.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, and before that, I could rattle off my favorite shows, but I mean, it's like they used to have like uh well, actually, you know what? I'm a big fan of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer.
Never seen her. I had a friend that was into her a lot, but I've never seen her.
Oh, okay. Yeah. T- Twin Peaks, The
Oh my God,
X-Files.
we just watched that in the Discord. We just finished it like
Oh,
yesterday,
you
the night
did.
before last.
Oh, okay. I don't do Discord, but yeah, I
I watch it
I had a
once a year. That and True Detective.
oh wow. Okay, okay. Yeah, I had a professor. I presented a paper one time at in Syracuse, New York, and it was about the X-Files. And he presented a paper about Twin Peaks because he was like a fanatic about it. Yeah. So,
The X Files was kind of influenced by Twin Peaks because I remember watching the X Files and thinking, "Wow, this is a lot like Twin Peaks." Oh, wow, that happened in Twin Peaks too.
well, I mean, David Duchovny, he appeared in both.
Yeah, he was
S-
a
Yeah,
drag. Well, at the time we call him a drag queen. Now we'd call him a transsexual.
yeah, and yeah, he did. He made an appearance on Twin Peaks,
Yep, it's one of the
and
first
he was
trans characters, and it wasn't even a big deal. That like people were like, okay,
no, it wasn't
trans.
no, it was just like okay, that's this guy's thing, that's his thing, and that's it.
Right, that's all it was. And now
Yeah,
it can make you or break you politically,
yeah.
economically.
But Twin Peaks, I'm not gonna lie, the second season it went down a little, I think, but then again, David Lynch wasn't that involved in it. I don't think he wanted a second season. That's my
He never wanted
understanding.
to resolve it at all.
Yeah,
His
yeah,
plan was never to wrap it up. And
I
the
know, yeah.
producers made him put an ending on. So you're saying after the Laura Palmer storyline, then it kind of started to
But yeah, they
falter
had
from
that.
there. Yeah, I would say that
Yeah.
too. And there was kind of a storyline that built up in the end, but it it became more like a soap opera, just like random plots.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do we do with the characters this week?
Oh, did you see the revival
The
of Twin
Return, the
Peaks?
one on Showtime.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's that is one of the worst. That's probably my worst television ever. That is the worst piece of crap. I watched it twice. Like maybe I missed something the first time. Let me go back and give it another chance the second time and have the
Yeah.
same feeling. He
Yeah.
completely took what he did with Twin Peaks and
He
undid all of
unraveled
it
it.
and ruined it.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think it's revenge. I think it was his revenge against all the people who bitched about the original series for it being too weird or for it going off I don't know. I feel like he was like having some kind of revenge or something. It's like he unraveled the entire original storyline.
Yeah, and the character, none of the characters in the new one acted anything like the characters in the show. They were just completely different people. I don't even know what he was
Yeah.
trying to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I hated that Agent Cooper was not Agent Cooper for most
Oh
of the
my
show.
God! And
That
the Vegas storyline, how
oh,
dumb.
it was kind of dumb. Yeah, it was kind of dumb. Um Now I'll give Kyle MacLachlan this. When he finally becomes himself and he wakes up, he's really good at that, and it's like you immediately know he's Dale Cooper again. I'll give him that. And it's like, oh yeah, Dale's back. But it's like, God, it was like, how long did you have to wait
I know the
for him
whole
to do
movie,
that?
and he was a good actor. Like even the Vegas character, as silly as it was, that
Yeah.
was a good acting job. I just hated the character. I hated the storyline. It had nothing to do with any of the reasons I watched Twin Peaks.
Yeah. Yeah, and
But
I don't
it
yeah,
takes a good actor to pull off something like that.
sure. Sure, yeah. And I don't know what he was trying to prove with Audrey's storyline in
Oh
the
my
revival.
God!
I
Oh, that
don't know
was
what he
horrible. I
it's
was
like, what were
so
you
embarrassed.
No, it's like, what is this? Okay, so she's locked in an asylum somewhere, and then she just realizes
He
time has
complete
passed, and
like why she was one of the better characters of the TV
yeah.
show. That in fact he was going to do a spin-off with her for a while. So why would he take that character and turn her into what we saw in The Return?
I don't know. I don't know. I hated it too. I didn't like that either. Um, I have, I like weird, I like weirdness. So naturally I like David Lynch, but, and I like that episode where Cooper was like leaving the lodge and it was like this big art house weird thing. I was
Oh,
even fine with
like
that.
in the cosmic episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people are saying that's one of his best works ever. That one
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I can roll with that. I'm good with that. And he's into David Lynch is into transcendental meditation. So I can kind of see where he's coming from. Oh, at one time, um, I wrote a story. They sent me to an exhibit of his, and all the art was on loan, and it was all because David Lynch used to be a painter,
Oh
and I was
yeah,
alone.
he went to art
Yeah,
school.
yeah, and I was alone in this room with all his artwork, and it was really strange. It was- I enjoyed it, but it was like, wow, okay. But I enjoyed it, you know. Um, but yeah. So, and the final episode, the final two episodes of the revival, God. they were almost depressing. I think I know what he was trying to say, but what do you think he was trying to say?
I quit caring. I
You
honestly
quit.
quit
Oh,
caring.
okay.
Like the ending, don't even care what it means. It was so stupid. And to sit through what it was like 14 episodes or something, and that was the
Yeah.
ending. My God.
Yeah. I don't know. I have theories about what he was trying to say, but yeah, it just left me, the last episode left me depressed. And I think originally when he wrote Twin Peaks, he wanted it to be the opposite of your basic cop show where there's like a victim of the week. And it's like, no, this person was killed. Oh, everybody's affected by it in the town. And that's like the opposite of like well, many cop shows. Because like by the time you get to the show next week, it's a different victim. And it's just something for the police to probe through. But this was like, Twin Peaks was like Laura Palmer. And everybody was affected by her dying. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, they did a good job of that,
yeah,
especially in the first few episodes.
yeah. So yeah, I have mixed feelings about that. The revival.
Yeah, I don't
Though
even count it.
some parts were good.
I like
Yeah.
the first two seasons, and that's enough for me. I loved Mulholland Falls. I mean Mulholland Drive and Inland
Hmm.
Empire. So he went on to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
really good, like almost as good or maybe even better stuff than Twin Peaks. And then when he got to the return, that all fell apart.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think his motivations were for the revival?
I, I take him as an artist. I think he was trying to do his type of art, like push himself artistically. I just don't think he succeeded
Hmm.
as well as he did in his previous works.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw Inland Empire too. I saw all his movies. Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen Eraserhead,
Oh
but
my God, I watched it the other day. Oh, it's so good. It's even better than I remember. Like
really,
that's where it all
okay.
starts, really. That like the all the David Lynch stuff that we tuned in for Twin Peaks and Inland Empire and all that, it's right there in Eraserhead. It's so obvious now.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. I even like I even like his version of Dune. To tell you,
I don't.
I like it. But I read the books and everything, and I'm a big Dune girl. So
I Yep, we're talking David Lynch. You know, on they have on YouTube they have some of his like his early shorts from the '60s when he was first making movies, and they're just as bizarre.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I saw one where it was like it. Well, what it looked like, it was like it seemed like it was like some type of mannequin or something made out of meat, and it was ants eating it. And I saw some of them. Yeah, yeah, he's
Yeah,
weird.
so he was
Yeah,
like weird right from the start, even in art school.
yeah, that's him. He's yeah, that's his vibe. Yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, yeah. You know what? I think I have to go. So it was nice talking to you guys. Um,
You
and
too, come up anytime.
yeah, maybe I'll talk to you guys later. And bye everyone. But yeah, nice being here.
You too. I enjoyed the conversation. Have a good day.
Good. You too. Bye.
Bye. Yep, Effigy, David Lynch, one of my favorite directors. And by the way, congratulations on your membership. You came up yesterday. I think it was De Freak that bought some memberships, and your name came up. So glad to have you as one of the outliers. Do you do this on purpose?
Well, okay.
You do.
Yes, but
Twice as a
also not for the
pattern.
reason you think. The reason is that I dislike talking online when there's multiple people because it's not possible to have any enjoyable conversation and organize it as well with all the lag and ping and delays and
You were waiting in the
not the
wings.
physical space. And so yeah, I intended to talk with someone else, but he was busy, and so I went back to the stream and saw that there was an open space. So I joined. I don't do it against her in particular or anyone else. I just find that above a certain amount, it's just impossible to have any, at least for me, enjoyable conversation online unless we all have cameras and we have no lag, which isn't really that feasible. So maybe sometime, Jeff, you should organize a live meetup and just and then you can have 10 people all sitting together and actually being able to talk
You mean
perfectly
in
fine.
person?
Yes.
I've been trying. I can't find anybody around here. I've been trying to forever, ever since I started this channel. I've been
Well,
telling people if you're in Washington State or even the Pacific Northwest and you want to get together in person and have some kind of panel weekend or something, let me know. I'm trying to organize local chapters, but
well,
nobody takes me up on it. They leave me
if I
out.
was
They
in
leave me here by
America,
my little lonesome.
if I was in America, but sadly I am not, so I couldn't have joined either way. But I would have thought there were more people. But actually, what's the population of Washington?
It's pretty big. I mean, Seattle's one of our larger cities.
Washington State.
And I know that there's people from this area that watch, but
Let's
in
see.
fact, you know what? I could check my analytics. That'll tell me.
You have 8 million population, roughly, Washington State. So your state is bigger than Norway.
Oh wow.
But is it in square area? No. Norway is roughly 2 or 3 times the amount of space and less population. You're a bit smaller than Sweden, though. You're between Norway and Sweden when it comes to population, which is interesting. I thought it would have been way smaller.
Okay, it's telling me that doesn't have enough data to give me the geography, but it's given it to me before, so I don't know what's.
What? Wait,
Oh,
how
it's
could...
only doing it since. Oh, I see. Hang on. It's doing it for this one stream. I want it for my whole channel. All right, here we go.
Damn.
Lifetime. Top geographies. It's gotta be with
Norway gotta be
states.
up there.
What? How is Norway not on here at all? United
That's a
States,
shame.
Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, Netherlands, a little bit of Puerto Rico, South Africa, and then 0% in all the other countries. Norway's
So
not even
you
on the
have
list.
you're purely Anglo, and then the most Anglo adjacent country, the Netherlands.
That's probably
Like,
Dutchy. But you, it maybe it's not registering you at all. It seems like you would be accounted for somehow, unless you're. Do you use a
I
VPN or something?
no, I don't think so. But maybe I've disabled something regarding privacy. But I don't think I have. Doesn't
Well,
seem
they
like
also
it.
do it by cities. So let's see if we could tell from the cities if there's anybody up here. No, I don't even see a Norwegian city. Victoria, BC, lots of Canadian cities. Philly, New York. There's not even a lot of Seattle. 0.1%. Yeah, I'm
And that's probably
suspicious of
you.
these analytics.
That's probably you. That 0.1%. That's
Yeah,
that's
right.
just you watching your own stream.
Take care, Kitty. Good seeing you. Helena, you too.
Actually, that reminded me. because I still have analytics for the podcasts, and I don't think it. Wait, it wasn't that. But I need to find it. I don't know where I have the app on my phone, and apparently it doesn't come up when I'm searching YouTube. It only says YT. Why would YouTube abbreviate its own app so you can't find it? But
They make all kind of
my
weird choices that I don't understand why.
yeah, it is strange, but yeah, okay. So we know 20.8% is from Norway, 5.1% from India, 1.2% for the Philippines, and the rest there's no knowledge, no information.
None for the
Very
U.S.
no, nothing about the US. Only those three countries are listed, which is really strange.
That's yeah. I just think it's there. See, people that are worried about the algorithm, I'm not at all. This is why it's not even that good.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So, what is on your mind today? What's going on in your head or your life?
Uh, well, today I've been procrastinating. I should have begun packing because I'm gonna be taking the train tomorrow. Back up away from my family, but I've delayed packing, so I'm gonna do that tomorrow and try to finish it before the train ride. But I don't, I have time.
Oh yeah, I always pack at the last minute too. I do my best
Yeah.
packing then. What time is the train ride?
Ooh, it's 2:30 in the day.
Afternoon.
Yeah. So maybe I'll get some light, but because the sun is returning a bit now as we get a bit closer to the summer, but it's still really dark, so I won't see any of the mountains and such because that's at the end of the journey, and by then it's really dark. But when I travel down, I usually get to see a big part of the main mountain range of. Wait, is is all of Norway's mountains counted as one range, or is it two ranges? Because I'm unsure. Imagine having to search up your own geography. Um,
Yes, I can.
okay, it seems like at least the mountains I'm talking about are part of Jotunheimen, the home of the Jotuns, which are the Norse giants.
Hmm.
Uh, but there might be the other mountain range more north. Is that might be a different one? Oh, actually, do you want to know a fun fact about Jotunheimen, that mountain range? It's over 1 billion years old, and when it was formed, it was connected to the Scottish Highlands. So those are the same mountain range, and the Appalachians.
Yeah.
It's
I
really
didn't know I
fascinating.
didn't know the Jotuns were part of that too, but I knew the Highlands and the Appalachians were the
Yeah,
same.
all of those fit together. I okay. Looking at the map, I would expect the northern mountain range to also be part of it, but I don't think it's called Jotunheimen or Jotunheim for English. I'm just adding the en, which is the way to signify the in Norwegian. So instead of
So
having a word
Scotland
in
split
front,
off of Norway?
apparently.
I guess so.
You know what? I'm just gonna use ChatGPT. It's been really helpful. Okay, so they have a lot of different names up there, so not necessarily part of Jotunheimen. One of the one cluster is called Lynx Alps. I don't know what Lynx is, but or Lynxal Lynx Alps. I don't know what that is, but they obviously named it after Alps. I'd assume. But that's actually a bit embarrassing not knowing my own geography.
And I know you trying for aristocrat. You're gonna have to know all that.
Yeah.
You can't rely
Well,
on the commoners to remember it all.
I know enough to be happy at least, and that's a start. Or maybe I don't know enough to be happy. Imagine if my current level of happiness is just abysmal compared to what it could be. You know, I don't
You
think that, but
seem
that's an
pretty
interesting one.
happy. At least
Yeah.
when you're on here and we're talking, you seem happy.
Imagine if I'm just lying. I
You could
talk all
be. A
about
lot of
being
people do
authentic and
fake
honest, but
happiness.
yeah, maybe I could. But no, I do
Hey, dog.
tend to be authentic and honest. And if I don't want to share stuff, if I have the choice where I'm talking about thinking to myself, like, should I lie about this? Should I, disguise my sadness? Then I just not join. Then I don't have anything against not revealing stuff and just being quiet, but I wouldn't lie, I think.
You wouldn't
Maybe I
mask.
do. Yeah, I don't I would prefer to be authentic and real both to others and to myself, but being real to myself, that takes priority. And it's not as if I'm insensitive to the situations around myself. Sometimes authenticity just isn't the right thing to be. Sometimes another person requires more comfort than me. Then I know I can delay it. I know I can process this alone. It's pretty normal and not that bad. Then sure, I can be there for them, and then later on I'll fix it. The big issue I've seen is that a lot of people who sort of take on the emotional burdens of others, they forget to actually take time afterwards to process their own feelings. They just bottle it down, never actually help themselves, which is a big part. It's completely fine to suppress your feelings for a small periods of time if you have something you have to do. But in the end, you always have to go back and actually process them and go through them. Like, it's idiotic to suggest that you always have to oh, you're sad, why you're sad, always have to do that instantly the moment you're sad. It's okay to delay it, to just ignore it for a bit, and such. But in the end, you have to actually fix your issues and find yourself.
But sometimes if you delay it, then it's not as fresh when you try to go back to it. That's one reason I'm such a big advocate of having your emotions when they happen.
That is certainly the case. And if there's no negative outcomes from just living in your emotions and letting them out, then sure, do that. But
What would be the negative outcome other than all these
if I'm in public, for example, I
Karens
do
around
not,
tell you not to do it?
well, me telling myself not to do it, I don't want to look undignified in that way. So I'd rather just do not be sad now, and I'll just be sad later on in the evening.
Is that an aristocrat thing?
No, that's a Norwegian thing.
'Cause I don't think having an emotion makes anybody undignified. In fact, I think
Okay,
it adds dignity to them. It adds humanity.
it's this is not about happiness and positive emotion, but specifically negative emotions and anger and such.
Yeah,
At
I don't
least,
think that's undignified at all. I think
well,
it's normal. It makes me trust the person more when they're having a normal, natural emotion. It adds a human dignity to them that um, facilitates more trust in them than I would if
yeah.
I didn't. If they were like not having any kind of emotion.
Yeah, I can see your point. I do disagree to some extent, but I fully see your point. I find it better to just be a be a bit muted in with your negative emotions in public. And yes, I do get seasonal sadness, you could say, or
Even
as
in
we call it,
Norway?
winter depression.
Oh,
Because I do notice that I am much less. You could say enthusiastic is probably a better word, because it's not as if I'm always sad. I'm just more muted, as if you remove the color from a picture. It's still
that
there, but
sounds
it's more
depressing.
black. Yes, the winter is depressing. Do you know how dark it gets? Do you know, Jeff? Do you know? Like, when I when I go to school, I don't get any light barely. I go to school before the sun rises, and I end school after it has sunk. Like, I don't get light. I don't see any sunlight out aside from through windows when I'm at school. Like, that's my whole childhood. Every single winter, you go to school before the sun rises, and you finish school after the set.
For like how many months out of the year?
Uh, that's probably November, December, and January are when
Uh,
it's worst, and then October and February it's still decently bad, because you know, uh, at least in January and February there starts to be so much snow that that it's much brighter because snow reflects, and so the whole area is just brighter, which causes more problems because you can get snow blindness. Everything hurts here.
that does sound depressing.
Yeah, it is, but it's part of life. That's probably also why all Scandinavians have such an obsession with the summer and going south. Like, that's the one thing you do during the summer is going south, down into the warmth and the sunshine. You go south, south, south. Like, if you're someone that is asking you where you're going to vacation, like, it's a legitimate answer to just say Sweden, which means the south. People just they'll understand what you mean. Like, it could mean Spain, Greece, France, Germany, but like people don't care. They just want to, I'm going south. Which yeah, it makes sense when winter is so cold and dark that people would uh, glorify going south in the summer. I'm from Norway.
Is there anybody left in the summer in those areas,
Oh yeah, sure. I
or does
mean,
the whole town empty out?
no, there are a lot of people left, and that's because it's interesting. But I kind of view it as, like, if I was religious, I would have said that Scandinavia offers an annual challenge every single winter and then gives you basically paradise as reward. Like, Scandinavia in the summer is luscious, it's warm, it's nice, and it's peaceful and everything. And it's like the most comfortable temperature range, at least for me. For me, 25 degrees, that's the perfect temperature. Anything hotter is hell, and anything colder is, well, it's not hell. I like the cold, but
Wait, hotter
25
than what
is
is
good.
hell?
Hotter than 25. Wait, what would that be in?
Celsius? What is that
Yeah,
Fahrenheit? Let me see.
Celsius to Fahrenheit. I know.
Oh,
You're a lot.
77. Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah, like, that's the limit. Above that, that's sort of not comfortable anymore, and there has to be other stuff to make it good. So, for example, when we're on vacation, it is hotter than that, and it's uncomfortable. However, it's you have the beaches, you have the historical sites, you have the restaurants. That makes up for it. But I do legitimately view that Scandinavia is one of the most beautiful places in the summer, but in return, in winter, it's kind of hell, to be honest. Uh,
It seems like it. I think winter's hell in
yeah.
general.
Do
So,
you know how
winter in
much?
Norway.
Do you know how hard it is? Like, a problem that I don't think you as a Southern American by your youth knows. Do you know how annoying it is to just finish clearing the driveway of snow, of literal tons of snow, and then it snows a meter the next day? Do you know how hellish that is? Like, yesterday I was out for 90 minutes clearing probably, what is it? Vänta ett sekund. Yeah.
No, no, I wouldn't know that at all. I probably wouldn't be shoveling the snow. They make you do that? Are you there? Uh-oh.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
I am back now. Where was I?
Something
So
about you were shoveling snow.
yes. Do you know how much snow I have to shovel? The driveway is probably
I can't see.
what's
Somehow I
that?
just can't see you out there shoveling snow.
10 meters by 20 meters by, and then the amount of snow, so like 1 meter. Let me actually ask ChatGPT how much weight a driveway of 10
I'm
by
skeptical that your
20
parents have you out there shoveling snow.
meters and 1 meter snow. How much weight is that in both pounds and kilos? And well, that's tradition, when your sons get, around 14, 15, you send them out to shovel the snow. And they are out there doing it for an hour or two, depending
That
on how
doesn't seem
efficient
very
they are.
aristocratic. That seems something peasants would do, shovel their own snow.
Yeah, well, everyone got to deal with it. The snow doesn't care. Everyone gets the snow. And actually, today, when I was shoveling, the small shovel, it broke. And so I had to use this big, uncomfortable shovel for lifting up the snow up into the mounds, you could say. Okay, yeah, so it calculates that the total amount of snow I've shoveled, if we say 10 by 20 meters and 1 meter snow, the past 2 days is 40,000 kilos or 88,000 pounds. That's, of course, spread out over like thousands of individual shovels, but you get what I mean. Like, it's a really annoying thing, and I'm so glad that after I moved out, I haven't had to shovel at all because I live on the second floor and the landlord does it. But now I'm home again, and my dad is like, he's forcing it. So
Oh, you had
I
to
have
shovel
to.
snow on your trip home?
Yes, I have to. It's my duty, I suppose. Because if not, like, he can't park his car. He can't get the car in the garage. Like, he,
Well,
he literally
what
can't.
does he do when you're not around? When you're off at
He
school?
shovels himself,
Ah,
or forces my brother. Sadly, the women they don't have to. They get a pass, which I get why, because they'd be so inefficient and slow. But at the same time, it's really
slow like a woman.
it's really it's annoying to see them sitting inside drinking their coffee or their tea, and I'm out there shoveling. But it's also therapeutic. Like, it's part of it that I really love, and I'm glad we don't have a because you can buy a machine that just cuts up the snow and just blows it out of a tube. Like, you can have a machine that does it efficiently. But I'm kind of glad we just have manual shovels because there's a therapeutic value to it, and I mean, it is a strength exercise. I am sore in my entire body after doing this 2 days in a row. So it's certainly something, and it is. I know that in the future when I have kids, I'm gonna force my children to go out there and shovel snow.
Keeps you humble.
They gotta experience what I did. It's part of the real experience. But yeah, that is actually kind
Allows
of
you the
crazy.
privilege.
Yeah, it's actually kind of crazy though how if you don't do that, you can't live. Like, you can't get out of the house, you can't travel, you can't do anything. And at least we're lucky that we have slanted roofs. Well, I wouldn't say lucky. That's the reason we have slanted roofs, so the snow can't collapse the roof. But in the past, you had to shovel the roofs as well, especially on castles. That was hell. But no, it's actually a really nostalgic thing to wake up in the middle of the night hearing the big snow shoveling trucks outside because they have to clear the roads. there's actually someone who does that, and so it's really nostalgic hearing them outside just pushing all the snow. But a side effect of that is that they block your driveway because they just form two lines at the edges of the roads, and that means you have a meter and a half, maybe a person-sized blockage at the entrance to your driveway. So before work, you have to go out and shovel. Like I think my dad, he went out at 5 a.m. to shovel so he could go to work at 6 a.m. Because he couldn't get his car out elsewise. Otherwise, that's the word. So yeah, it's a nice experience, though. I do always miss the winter when it's summer, and I always miss summer when it's winter. I am forever captivated
Always
by the
want what
beauty
you
of
can't
Scandinavia.
have.
Yes.
That's pretty much the basis of desire. We don't desire things if we have
Yeah.
them.
And I seem to always forget sort of the darkness of winter. I forget how depressing it can be, but also how sort of pleasant it can be. Sitting inside in pitch black with a cup of hot chocolate. It's amazing. There's a very true mood.
I think I might have to wrap the stream up early because I'm looking at the bus route for this thing I have to go to, and it looks like they're having issues with the bus stop, and there's a
Ah, I
alternative
hope I don't
route
have
I
those
have to
issues
take today.
tomorrow.
So I'm gonna need time to figure that out. Otherwise, I could keep it going a little while longer.
Yeah, well, prioritize whatever you need to prioritize above little old me.
Yeah, I'm glad I looked. I just noticed. So hopefully I make it on time.
Where are you going, by the way?
It's actually it's off of. Oh, I'm going to kind of an interview. I'm going to an interview to see if I have an interview tomorrow. But I got this off of Google Maps, so I think it's pretty neat that Google Maps tells you when there's an issue with your bus stop. Otherwise, I would never have known. I don't ever go on the transit site itself.
Yeah. Well, if we're gonna go now, then I don't think it's wise to start up another conversation.
Probably not. No, not the kind we have.
Yeah, no. I will say though, I'm very disappointed by. I'm always disappointed by Norway. Every single winter, we're a wintry country, and every single winter, it's like, oh no,
This is the
there's
first I've
snow.
heard you. Like, normally you're so passionate about your country. This is the first I've really heard you
Oh yeah.
have
Well,
anything
okay.
to say about it.
It is a bit embarrassing that a country which has like we are so snow covered and winter is like our key quality, and yet we always struggle when snow comes. Like, I don't understand it. How could we have lived here for thousands of years and still we have to shut down parts of the roads and society? Like, we have mini COVID lockdowns every single year, certain parts of the winter, because the snow is just too bad. There's too much snow. The trains can't go, the buses can't go, planes can't take off, people can't get to work, schools are closed. Like, that was always something I looked forward to as a kid, when you'd get maybe a day or two off from school because there's too much snow.
I don't think maybe I don't. Doesn't sound like there's anything you can do about snow. Y'all are doing the best you can.
Yeah, well, you can have heated roads, but that costs money, and so
Don't you
a
have
lot of
all that
people.
oil money though?
Yeah, well, but we're super inefficient, and so we have to cover our inefficiency with oil money.
God, Norway
Which,
sounds like it sucks. What a
yes, it does.
terrible
We
country. Who would want to live there?
exactly. Who would have? Who wants that? No, but I think in the future, if I have money, I will not buy a heated driveway because I want my children to
To
experience the
shovel
same
that
thing I did.
snow.
Yes,
It's
it's
gonna
part
be
of the
worth what?
experience. I know that every single one of my ancestors have experienced this.
I don't know.
All of it.
Most parents want to pass down a better standard of living to their kids than they had.
Oh yeah, but certain things I want to keep because this is cool. Like I was watching Ronja Roberts' daughter. If anyone have heard of that, a really famous Swedish movie by the really famous Swedish author Astrid Lindgren, and in that there's a specific like 2-3 minute scene of just the men of the bandit group shoveling snow at their hideout. Even the bandits can't avoid it, and
Uh,
it's like they literally dedicated a 3 or 4 or 5 minutes season. Actually, though, that movie, Jeff, is really nice to capture sort of the magic of Scandinavia because it has a whole year, so you see all the seasons, and it's really beautiful. Ronja Roberts' daughter, not Robert. Robert. It's not the daughter of Robert. It's Robert. Robert's daughter. Oh, not lost. No, you didn't go there. You didn't go there. I know that's a joke, but that genuinely hurts. That genuinely hurts.
the only thing that
But
the ABBA's not even Norway. That's you're thinking of Aha, not ABBA.
that's why it hurts, Jeff. That's why it hurts. It they always forget about this.
Well,
They
not
all
Laz is not our brightest. Don't feel too bad.
didn't I spend the last stream I was on calling him unique and vital to this community? Like, how can I square that with you now calling him not the brightest?
There's so much he gets wrong. As far as misinformation goes and managing misinformation, he really has to be working overtime. There's Aha. Who else is Norway? Are there any good Norwegian movies? But Ibsen, wasn't he Norwegian?
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah, Ibsen. Like, what more do you need? Second only to Shakespeare.
That is very true.
Norwegian drama. There's no drama like Norwegian drama, except for
Yeah.
Elizabethan drama.
Well, yeah, and I actually watched Macbeth 2 days ago. Like
The modern one.
no, one from the
Oh.
70s. We wanted to avoid all the postmodern stuff, so we just took a movie, not 70s, I think 1984, that version, and it was really good. A real wonder. And so yeah,
It was a movie
yeah, they made a rendition of Macbeth.
in
Uh,
19. Let me see which one that is.
You can, for like $4, you can watch it on YouTube. So that's what we did.
Was it a TV series? TV movie?
I have no idea. My friend found it.
I didn't even know
sent me
about it. How was it?
I really enjoyed it. I did. I really enjoyed it. So he definitely knows. Some of the dialogue is is prosiatic a word? Like
is
too
now, I
prose-like? Yeah. Prose-like sounds stupid, so I'll just say prosiatic. It's too prosiatic for my taste. And like some scenes, there's very flowery language that just doesn't
Oh, I
capture
would
the
almost
spirit.
say that's the opposite of prose. Well, it is Shakespeare, and Macbeth is probably one of his least flowery plays.
Yeah, but it was really good. So I'm really happy I watched that. I don't like. It's hard to compare him to Ibsen though because he captures something. He captures something else, and it's not a fair comparison, especially as sort of the stakes
No,
in
it
Ibsen
never is.
are more personal, and they don't really matter that much in the grand scheme of things. Whilst at least Macbeth had this weight behind it. but that's sort of the point of Ibsen, is this personal, character-based, individual core. And but no, I think actually though that En Folkefiende, an enemy of the people, that play by Ibsen is probably I prefer it more than Macbeth. Because the scenes and the dialogue in that was so immaculate. Now, of course, you know, it's sad that you won't be able to experience the Norwegian dialogue.
No, not
And
without
such.
translation. But you should at least read Macbeth now that you've seen it to get the full
Yeah,
experience. Because there's
uh,
a lot of things that um, you miss in performance that you pick up in reading with Shakespeare.
that's gonna take time. But now I think I'm also gonna go, and I'm gonna go down and try to read a few pages of a medieval fairy tale I bought, The Song of Roland.
Oh yeah,
So
that's
you
if
know,
you're gonna procrastinate packing, that's a worthy way to do it.
it truly is. I really want to actually begin understanding the sort of medieval literature scene. I want to read all of these fairy tales and stories and myths and that sort of stuff. I want to read Beowulf, I think, after The Song of Roland. And after that, I'm not sure. I have had Don Quixote on my reading list for a long while, but also Marco Polo. So
Oh, I
that's
would
my
do Don Quixote
yeah.
before any of the others.
Yeah. Well, I don't have that book physical. I do have the Song of Roland though, and
Oh, okay.
I don't think I have the Marco Polo one. So maybe Don Quixote is after this. Maybe I'll listen to it on an audiobook, because I do have an audiobook series
Because
service.
you kids, none of you read anymore. Okay, well, enjoy your reading, your or whatever it
Yeah.
turns out to be, and I'll catch you again. So, and have a safe trip back too. Safe
Yeah.
travels.
Thank you, and for you too. I hope the bus
Oh
stuff
right,
works out.
yeah, I'm hopping on a bus myself. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Have a nice night.
all right, take care. All right, I got a jet. I got to get to this appointment, and like I said, I'll probably be here tomorrow at the usual time. If not, I will. I'll be here some point. If I'm not here at the exact time, just look for me an hour or so later. I may have something to do in the morning. And you know what? If there's a McDonald's or something where I'm going today, I might even stop and get some fries. So maybe I'll do a short vertical stream later today. Either way, I'll be out at some point. So have a good rest of your day and see you when I see you. Take care.